Hi, welcome to Once Upon a Stitch Nook and my desk where the creativity happens. We are going to be working on this lavender sachet bag, the little drawstrings. You see I have two examples here and just little info. I use a 2-weight yarn and I believe a 2.75 millimeter hook, but you can choose whichever you want. It'll just kind of make the size different. You can see how it fits in my hand. It's like this one I made with a larger hook, but same yarn, so it's a little bigger. This one can kind of fit like a little phone. It might stick out a bit, so you can size it up or even smaller if you like. But yeah, let's just kind of jump right into it. All right, you are going to want to chain two. If you like to use the magic circle, magic ring, whatever it's called, method, you can do that with the extra chain one. But I don't use that, so this is how I have it instructed. So after you chain two into that first chain or your magic ring or magic loop, you're going to half double crochet 10. So just go ahead and half double crochet 10 into that center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. And then you're going to slip stitch into your first stitch, completing your circle base. Now we're just going to work on making the circle bigger for now. So you're going to chain one, and then in each stitch, you're going to half double crochet twice, half double crochet two into the same stitch like so, and do that into each of the stitches. Come across stitch, 1, 2 half double crochets like so. All right, I've done my last 2 half double crochets into a stitch, and I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch in the round. And then similarly, we're going to chain 1, half double crochet into the first stitch, and then half double crochet twice into the next stitch. So we're increasing every other stitch. Half double crochet once, and then half double crochet twice. And then just continue that all the way around. All right, you've done your last 2 to half double crochets into the stitch. You're going to slip stitch into your first stitch. Now this one is more or less going to be similar, but with a little tweak at the end. But to start the repeat, you're going to half double crochet 1, 2, and then half double crochet twice into the third stitch. And that'll be your repeat until you have 3 stitches remaining. So just remember that. So you do 1, 2, and then 2 half double crochets into your third. So just keep doing that until you have 3 stitches left. All right, you see I have 3 stitches left after I've done my 2 half double crochets and then 2 in the same stitch. And into the following 3 stitches, they're all going to get 2 half double crochets. So you're making a lot of increases here. In some things, I would space them out more around the center, but it really doesn't matter in this case, so I don't bother with that, and it makes the instructions simpler, I think, instead of needing to paste them out. But if you want to, you can, of course, add 2 extra increases wherever you like around. I just do them at the end here. And so this is the solid base. Now you're going to chain 1, single crochet 1. You're going to chain 1 again, skip 1, and single crochet into the next one. Chain 1, and then single crochet into the following one, no skipping. So that way you're going across here and then you increase here because there are 2 single crochets together and a chain 1 in between. Now to repeat again, we're going to chain 1, skip 1, and then single crochet 1. Chain 1, single crochet into the next one, no skipping. I'll show one more time. Chain 1, skip 1, single crochet into the next one. Single crochet a little better than that. Chain 1, and then single crochet into the next one, no skipping. So it'll look more or less similar. You won't see too much difference unless you make your loops looser than mine, which you can, of course. But just repeat that all the way around. Chain 1, skip 1, single crochet 1, chain 1, single crochet 1. Alright, I've come around. I've done my last single crochet and chain 1, and then we're going to slip stitch into our first stitch. So there we have it. Now we're going to slip stitch into the first chain space we have here. So go ahead and slip stitch into there. We're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to do, and this is an important part that I think a lot of people get confused, is a double crochet 2 together. And the way we do this in here is we're going to start a double crochet into the same chain space, the first one here. And once we have 2 loops left on our hook, we're going to yarn over, skip a chain, and go into the next chain. Start that double crochet and then pull them together like so. Then you're going to double crochet into that chain space we just worked into, like so, like that. Chain 2, and we're going to double crochet 2 together, starting in the current chain space, and then skip a chain space and working to the next chain space, like so. Good. Double crochet into the same chain space and chain 2. I'll show that one more time. Double crochet 2 together, starting in the same chain space we're in. Skip a chain space, working to the next chain space. Double crochet into that same chain space and chain 2. And just continue that all the way around. Alright, I've just done my last double crochet into the same space and chain 2. And then this is how we're going to join. You're going to double crochet 2 together, starting in the one you're already in. We're skipping the last chain space and working into the first chain space where we have the chains coming out of. So you finish that double crochet 2 together, and then slip stitch into that first chain 5 we did, which represents a double crochet chain 2. And there you have that. Now, next row, we're going to chain 1, single crochet 3 into the chain space, like so, and then 2 single crochets into 2 stitches. Single crochet 3 into the chain space, single crochet 2 into the 2 stitches. So 1, 2. And just continue that all the way around. I've done my last single crochet. I'm going to slip stitch into our first stitch, chain 1, and start the next row. Next row will be single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, and not skip 1, but single crochet into the next one. So opposed to before, we're going to have 2 skips before we do our increase. So we're pacing out where we do an increase. So one more time, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet into the next one, no skip. Chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, don't skip, and single crochet into the next one. And continue that pattern all the way around. Okay, we've done our last single crochet into the last stitch. This can be a hard one and to lose your place, so make sure you do check that you've done the pattern correctly. So you should end up in the last stitch chain 1, slip stitch into the first single crochet. Slip stitch into the first chain space, and then we're going to repeat the row from before. Chain 5. I think it's, what row is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Row 6. Double crochet 2 together, starting in the current chain space, skipping a chain space, and into the next chain space. Then you double crochet into that same chain space, chain 2. Double crochet 2 together in current chain space, skipping a chain space, and working into third chain space, the next chain space. Double crochet into that same chain space, and chain 2, and just repeat that. Alright, we're at our last joining point. So we've done our double crochet, chain 2. We're going to do our chain 2 together like we did before, like so, and then slip stitch into the first stitch, chain 1. Now we're going to half double crochet twice into the chain space. Then we're going to half double crochet into each of the 2 stitches, and then repeat that. Half double crochet 2 into the chain space, and then half double crochet into the 2 stitches. So it'll just be 2, 2, 2, and repeat that all the way around. Alright, we have one more half double crochet. I'm going to start here, and then I'm going to do a color change, so I'm not going to finish this one all the way. So I'm going to push that yarn back. I'm going to color change to our purple and finish the half double crochet with the purple color. There we go. And then we're going to slip stitch into the first stitch, like so. And you're just going to chain 1, and all around I'm going to work over the purple tail and a bit of, I guess I'll cut it, and the ivory. And we're just going to single crochet all the way around. No increases, nothing like that. Just going to single crochet all the way around. Alright, and then I'm going to do a color change on the last single crochet. So I'm not going to finish it. Wrap the yarn, push it back. We're going to bring in our green. Okay. Then finish that off. Slip stitch, chain 1, and then half double crochet your way all the way around. So nice and simple again. I'm going to work over the ends again to reduce weaving in extra ends. And yeah, just work all the way around in half double crochet. I've done my last half double crochet, so we're going to slip stitch into the first stitch. And now we're going to chain 4. We're going to double crochet into the same stitch. And so we've made our beginning V-stitch. We're going to skip 2 and do a regular V-stitch in the next one. And that consists of a double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet in the same stitch. So you see we're making little V's. And so you'll keep skipping 2 and making V-stitch in the third stitch for the following stitch. So there we go. We're going to skip 2, make a V-stitch in the next stitch, skip 2, V-stitch in the next stitch, and just continue that all the way around. Alright, I've done my last V-stitch. We have 2 stitches left, of course skipping them, and slip stitching into the next one. But for our slip stitch, we're going to color change to the purple. Like so. Then you're going to chain 4, and then working in the back loops, we start in the second from the hook. You're going to single crochet. So 1, 2, 3 single crochets. all the way down. Once you've done that, you're going to slip stitch tightly back into the V chain. So like so, it should, let me see, like that. I'm going to tuck things to make sure they're nice and tight, and now we need white. All right, and now we're going to chain one of the white, and we want to tug the purple to make sure it's still tight. And we're going to double crochet 2 in between the V stitches, so in here, while working over the purple in particular, and for now also the green, just to limit ends. You don't have to carry the green if you don't want to. You can just leave it there and cut it and weave in the ends regularly. Before I finish the second double crochet, we're color switching back to purple. So you're going to pick it up. It should be nice and below since you're working over it. And finish that double crochet. Then you'll slip stitch into the next V chain and working over the white, like so. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Starting in second from hook, we're going to work 3 single crochets in the back loops. 2, 3, and slip stitch tightly back into the V chain. Then we're going to drop the purple and pick up the white. On chain 1, and we're going to double crochet 2 in between the V stitches, color changing on the second second double crochet. Dropping that white, finish it with the purple, slip stitch into the V chain again, and you will just continue that pattern all the way around. You will end on the 2 double crochets to be butting up against your first lavender stem here. So just keep doing that pattern all the way around. Alright, I finished my 2 double crochets between the lavender. We're meeting up with our first one here. So just finishing that off. And then we will just slip stitch into the same chain space. That is fine. Now we're going to chain 2, single crochet into the top section of your lavender. I tend to just slip stitch into that space, but like orienting it towards the top, if that makes sense. Oh wait, I should, sorry, chain 3 and then single crochet. Then double crochet into each of the 2 white stitches, like so. And then single crochet into the top of the lavender. Double crochet in each of the white stitches. Single crochet into the top of the lavender. And just do that all the way around. Alright, I've done my last 2 double crochets in the row, and then we're just going to slip stitch into the first, well, let me do a better job of that. You're going to slip stitch into that single crochet that we did at the top of the lavender. Then you're just going to chain 1 and single crochet all the way around. So we're back to nice simple rows. So just go ahead, single crochet your way all the way around your bag. All right, boom, getting ahead of myself. I've done my last single crochet, and as wait, what am I doing? I want to color change on this last single crochet. So I'm not going to finish it, and now I'm going to do the color change. So I finished the single crochet with green, and I slip stitch into the first chain. There we go. All right, and now all we're going to do again is chain 1 and single crochet all the way around. I'll work over my ends and clip the white when I'm ready. But yeah, that's all there is to this row. So just do that all the way around. All right, and I have one single crochet left, and I'm going to do a color switch to purple. So we're going to finish the single crochet with purple. We're going to slip stitch to the first stitch, chain one, and then once again we're single crocheting all the way around. This gives us some more colorful trim. You could do one or both colors, it's up to you. But yeah, so just go ahead and do that all the way around, and then we'll be switching back into the white. All right, and then we're going to color change on the last single crochet. Push the purple to the back, pick up our white, finish our stitch, and then slip stitch into the first. All right, and then we're going to work over those ends, chain one, and half double crochet all the way around. All right, we've come to the end of that row, that half double crochets. We're going to slip stitch into the first stitch, chain one, single crochet, chain one, skip one, single crochet, chain one, skip one, single crochet, chain one, skip one, single crochet. So you'll single crochet always after the next one that after you skipped. So skip, chain one, single crochet, chain one, and so forth, and just do that all the way around. So we're not doing any increases, it just is a nice steady pattern to it. All right, I'm at the last chain one, skip one. We're going to slip stitch into the first stitch and then slip stitch into the first chain one space. We're going to chain 5, 3, 4, 5, knit two, double crochet 2 together in the chain space we're already in. We're skipping one and working into the next one. So this should look familiar. Double crochet into that same chain space, chain 2. One more time, double crochet 2 together, skipping a chain space, double crochet into that same chain space, chain 2, and continue that all the way around. Here I am at where I've just done my double crochet, chain 2, and we're going to join by double crocheting 2 together into that first chain space we started the row in, like so. Then we'll slip stitch into that chain, and that concludes the row. Now we chain 1, and we're going to single crochet 2 into the chain space, and then 2 into the 2 stitches. So 1, 2, in chain space, 1, 2, over the stitches, 1, 2, and so forth. So go ahead and do that all the way around. Okay, we've done our last stitch. We'll slip stitch into the first stitch, chain 1, and half double crochet all the way around. Nice and simple, and after this we'll do our eyelet row, so where our cord will be woven through. But for now, just half double crochet all the way around. Okay, we finished our half double crochet round. We are going to slip stitch into the first one, chain 1, and half double crochet 2. Alright, then we're going to chain 2, skip 2, and half double crochet 2. Chain 2, and skip 2, and that will be the repeat pattern for this. So go ahead and chain 2, half double crochet 2, chain 2, skip 2. So all in twos. Nice and easy to remember that way. Whoops. Okay, I'm at my last chain 2, skip 2. We're going to slip stitch into the, whoops, slip stitch into the first stitch, like so. Then we're going to chain 1, and I like to half double crochet 2 in between the stitches. You can either do into the 2 stitches respectively or in between, up to you. And then you'll uh, half double crochet 4 into the chain space, half double crochet 2 in between, half double crochet 4 in the chain space. And just at the very last chain space, we're going to half double crochet 3. But everything else is 2 in between or 2 into the half double crochet stitches, and then 4 half double crochet stitches into the chain space. So go ahead and do that all the way around, and I'll pick up at the end. Okay, I'm at the last chain space, and like I mentioned before, we're going to half double crochet 3 instead of 4 into that one. Then we'll just slip stitch into the first stitch, then we'll chain 1, excuse me, and then we'll proceed to single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet into the next, chain 1, skip 1, and repeat that all the way around. Alright, the last chain 1 and skip 1, we're going to slip stitch into our first stitch, slip stitch into the first chain space, oops, chain 5, I'm going to give myself a little more room to work. We're going to double crochet 2 together like we went over before, double crochet into the same chain space, chain, oh, that was a bad chain 2, double crochet 2 together, remembering to skip a chain space, double crochet into the same chain space, and chain 2, and then you continue that all the way around, and then we have just one more round to go. Alright, let's do our last double crochet 2 together by joining into the first chain space that we started in, like so, and then actually for the slip stitch we're going to pull in the purple for a color change, and now we're just going to do the little trim edge. So we're going to slip stitch with the purple, chain 1, single crochet 1, then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, single crochet into that same chain space, like so, chain 3, skip the 2 stitches and into the next chain space. I'm not going to carry that. Into the next chain space, single crochet 1, chain 3, and then single crochet and back into the same chain space. Then you'll chain 3 again, skip over into the next chain space, single crochet, chain 3, and single crochet back into that chain space. And so you'll repeat that where it will make a sort of, let me see, Lucy kind of makes a bump, a lower bump, a bump, a lower bump, like that. Not quite peacoats, but gives a little interesting texture to the top. And you'll just continue that all the way around, and then we're nearly done. Alright, I've done my last chain 3 after the last chain space. I'm going to slip stitch into that first single crochet. We'll cut our yarn there. Also cut the white from the previous row, and then all that's left is the weave in ends. So I will do that more off camera, but I guess just for the sake of quickly looking at it, you can see this is how it's looking. I'm going to show you it with the I-cord, but I'm not going to go over the instructions on it now because I find it difficult to do so visually, and people have their own methods and you can use a chain, you can use a chain and a single crochet back. or an I-cord end and then tie it off in the end however you want. I really will kind of leave that up to you. If you are interested in how I do it, I do explain it in the first Cottage Rose bag tutorial. I will link that and it's at the end of the video if you want to learn that, but I will go ahead and add that. But over here you can also see what it looks like in this version, this more purpley version. And then we have the ties like so. Anyway, I will add that real quick and then show you before we conclude the video. So you're going to pull out about 3 times the length you think you want your cord. I tend to just eyeball it and give myself excess than I think I'll use, just to be safer. And then you take whatever size hook you want. In this case, I'm using a 3.5. I think I would have used a 2.75 for the other one, so up to you if you want it a little chunkier, if you want it thinner and dainty, entirely up to you. So I'm going to bring it down a bit. And then what I tend to do is I'm going to wrap my, let's see, I should probably show you how I'm holding the yarn. So you're going to have the yarn that's still from the ball and then the loose yarn here. And so you have, you're working basically between the two. So kind of holding the yarn from the ball up and the loose yarn below. Insert your hook underneath and then wrap it around. And then what you're going to do is take the bottom yarn and make a loop over your hook. And I kind of tend to pinch the bottom base of the twist we just made with the hook. And then you're going to yarn over and pull through using the yarn from the ball, like so. Now we're just going to repeat that, whoops, making a loop by going back over the yarn towards the upper yarn, yarning over the ball yarn and pulling through. And you just keep doing that. It is pretty simple and it creates a more polished look than just a chain to me. So I do like it, and I think it gives a little more, it bears better with a little more wear and tear. So go ahead and do that for the length you desire. It can be longer, it can be shorter than how I depict it, so entirely up to you. So go ahead and do that, and then we will thread it through and connect it. Alright, I've done the length I want it to be, so it's gonna more or less be like that. So let's see if I can bring you up a bit. Alright, so we're going to thread it through here, and I'm going to cut a fair bit of tail from both yarns to work with when we need to attach, and I'm just going to leave it as a loop. Fair warning, I do not have a good method for actually attaching this seamlessly. I encourage you to, if you care about that, look it up on YouTube. I had trouble finding it on YouTube personally, but I also didn't take too long to look, so I just kind of try every time. So what we're going to do is thread through the eyelets we made. So the it looks different here now than before, but you're going to have those half double crochets chain two before we kind of do the increase in lace section. And you're just going to be pulling it through, and you want it to come out on the other half more or less. I tend to just eyeball it. You can of course count it out. And what I realized, what I originally had was just working them all out over in, but I found out is better that the area you want to pull should come out of the same hole. So these, if you're doing that, the eyelets might not be paced exactly right. So I'm going to see if that's the case this time again. So let's see. So I've worked it through half the eyelets, like so. So half the bag. And now, let's see, we'll take this side. So I'm going to enter it back into the same hole. I would like to have like a bead or one of those, you know, stopper things, because sometimes this pulls back through like so, and then you have to bring it out again. But it's not on the pattern. I don't have those. I haven't tried that yet. But if you are looking to optimize this a little better, that is a cool option. And then just thread back towards this end. And so you can tighten, scrunch it up if you need to make that happen. And so yeah, so on this side, it would come out that these each come out like so. So what I'll do is go back a bit. I'm going to pull it through the half double crochet here. And it's kind of just depends how you want to have yours cinched. But I kind of rediscovered that this is probably the better way, and it's not my preferred way. So that's just a little hack I found, and it doesn't, disrupt the look of it or anything. So let's see, I'm going to pull some more onto this side. And so you can see it's like that. And then, when you cinch it, it'll look like something like so, with little items and trinkets and things in it. So let's attempt to, I'm going to get a smaller hook. I'm going to have this random regular one here. So I've inserted a smaller hook back into the loop, tightened the loop up, and I'm going to pick up the other end. And again, I usually just try to figure out what looks good and then weave the ends into the I-cord. So I'm going to slip into the closed end and slip stitch both the yarns like so, and then pull through. So it's going to look like that. And then I want to bring them over to the other side. So I'm going to slip and pull them over here. And then back towards the active when we were just in, like so. So you can see it's not the best. It's just kind of what I do. And then I start working it into the I-cord. I'll pick usually one end to go one way, and then the other end I'll kind of work in the other way. So using a smaller hook helps to do that. So kind of like so, and just keep working it in. And then I would kind of, again, for optimization purposes, I tend to be lazy. You can use like a bit of glue or what's it called? Like a bit of, I'm thinking flame, but like what are they called? Lighter or something to really close off the frayed ends and then tuck that in a little better. I think that might be a little more professional way to do it. But I'm not going to show that here. I haven't actually tried either of those methods yet, but I keep thinking about it. So just throwing that out there. But yeah, this is just getting weird. And so, sorry, my foot's touching something that's making noises. So also to hide this, I guess I'll show that. All right, I finished tidying up the ends. So let's see, where is it? Oh, is it this side? Yeah. So actually it's not too bad, like from afar. But to hide it extra good, I'm going to, let's see, which side is it? This side? No? This side. I'm going to make sure it is kind of the part not sticking out, but within the bag. So you really don't have to worry about it much. And then, yeah, that's that.